And now it's time for Guerilla Roundup. They'll let you know what happened overnight when things transpire whilst you sleep. Right there in the loop you keep.
Well, hello and welcome back to Guerilla Roundup. Today is the first day of the fourth test from the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The Ashes may be decided, but the rivalry continues. And I'm very pleased to have with us today young Will Reynolds for his first stint on the Guerilla Roundup. Welcome, Will.
Thanks, Messi. Thanks for having me. Good to be here. It's
Uh,
about bloody time, isn't it?
true, true. So I'll get you to start off just by giving a very brief summary of how the day started and ended, if you could.
Right. England won the toss and put Australia in. They got 150 in very quick time. Uh, Definitely a bowling wicket. Um, and then in reply, England crashed out to 110. Um, all in all, a absolute smash and grab of a day. Probably amazing watching if you're an Aussie, such as yourself. But very depressing way to start your Boxing Day if you're a Pom.
I get it. I get it. Well, the one thing I would say is that it's exact mirror image of what happened in Perth. Here,
Yeah,
Australia lead by 42 on the first innings and scored four in the one over tonight. In Perth, England led by 40 on the first innings. So the team leading didn't win the test. So that should be some consolation to you. Okay.
true, true. And I'd be much more excited if it wasn't already
Yeah.
3-0.
So we started the day. It was on a cloudy skies. It was really quite cool in Melbourne today, just 17 degrees the maximum, lots of jumpers around. Uh, and Travis Head and Jake Weatherald opened for Australia. And how was it looking at that stage with Tang and Atkinson? Sorry, Atkinson and Cast, I think, opened the bowling, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it looked pretty standard Boxing Day MCG kind of it is generally a like a bowling wicket. The the drop-ins doing great stuff. It's really improved recent years. Um and it looked like it was gonna sort of go a bit of distance, I thought, in the early stages. And then all hell broke loose, basically.
Yeah, well, Australia got to 27 without loss. Then the first ball of the seventh over. Uh, to Gas Atkinson, Travis had managed to cut one onto his wicket, which is not the first time, won't be the last time in his career. It's a
Yeah.
favourite method of dismissal for him, but it sort of opened the floodgates, didn't it?
Yeah, that was the point at which I went and made a cup of tea at the end of the sixth over, came back about halfway through the seventh, and I don't know, the whole complexion of the game had changed
Mm,
well, there was a brief period where I kind of thought, oh, this could sort of be something.
mm.
And then Australia got skittled and was it 41 for four
It was
at
51 for
one point?
four, yeah. So, I
51
mean,
for
what
four.
what I saw happening is Atkinson and Cast opened. Atkinson bowled okay. Cast, I didn't think bowled very well at all. His
Yeah,
pace wasn't great. His line wasn't great. He wasn't threatening to the batsman. It certainly looked at that stage as if wickets were going to fall. That was going to be a matter of batsmen getting themselves out. Uh,
yeah,
and then
definitely.
Tongue came into the attack, and my view, Tongue bowled really well today. The best I've seen him bowl
I
for England.
really, really rate Tongue. I mean, I've said it on commentary a lot. I can't really work Cast out. I just don't see what he's trying to do. Usually I can kind of see where the bowling plans are going. Um, and Cast, I just can't see it at all, really.
Yeah,
But Tongue, I think, is a really clever bowler. I think he adapts really well. I think considering he's known as a kind of English conditions kind of bowler, I think he's doing really well in sort of very Australian conditions. Yeah, he's really good. He's got a lot of movement.
yeah.
Um,
Well, his
yeah, yeah,
first
he's
wicket was,
tidy.
I think Weatherall contributed very much to it. It was a strangle down the leg side. Weatherall just got a little tickle on it, and it went through to the keeper, and that was the start of. Well, it was the second of two wickets to fall that didn't need to fall, but it brought Labuschagne and Smith together, and
Yeah,
frankly, considering the reputation between the two of them over the years, they didn't look particularly impressive, did they?
no. Labuschagne, I thought particularly looked very nervous, quite tenuous. He was even more sort of jittery and fidgety than he normally is, and for both of them, that's saying something. Yeah, I thought he couldn't really sort of settle to his work and just I don't know, like from the moment they came out, I kind of thought you're not going to be around for long. Don't know what it was, just sort of
Yeah.
something in the air today. Nobody was out there for that long.
Well, I think it's fair to say, though, that Labuschagne was probably the first wicket to fall where the pitch played a significant part, in that
Yeah, definitely.
he played at one that just cut away enough to get an edge and went straight to Joe Root at slip. And that was the start of a lot of wickets that involved the pitch playing its part, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's an interesting one. I think that the pitch has kind of considering that we've had two innings in the one day, the pitch has actually sort of ebbed and flowed quite a lot in the time that we've had. It's been an interesting thing, and the pitch really has played its part. That kind of extra little bit of grass and kind of I don't know how much they rolled it at lunch, but it looked like it had had a bit of
They don't
sort
roll
of
them.
going over.
They're not allowed to roll it at lunch, or they can do a sweep
No,
it at that stage. But after Marnus was out, so Smith was joined by Khawaja, and they're very quiet. They went for about 8 overs, just added 16 runs, 17 runs between them. But when Smith was bowled, it was he was looking to attack, but it was a beautiful delivery from Tongue, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, he is really quite a beautiful bowler to watch. I really like his style. And I think it's kind of I think he really fits into Stokes's bowling plans and the fields that he wants to use, and um I think that sort of really shows he's a bowler you can kind of conduct quite well, and I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it came back in just off the line. Smith left a gap between bat and pad, which is
Yeah,
unlike Smith, but it was a really, really nice delivery. It would have got a lot of batters out.
yeah, definitely. I think yeah, that was. It's a bit odd. Smith is kind of it's had a bit of a weird series. He's been quite quiet, and I don't know if that's sort of. I mean, the England fan in me kind of wants to think, oh, maybe he's tailing off, but I think he's just having a quiet time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he had ridiculous time in some series, in England in particular.
Oh yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, anything that's mediocre compared to that feels good from an England fan's point of view, I suspect.
yeah. Well, I suppose it's a similar thing with Root. You know, everyone's saying, "Oh, he's having a terrible series," and it's just like, well, he's not. He's probably having the best series of any England player. It's just that in comparison to what he
Yes.
normally is, it's
Yeah, I think
not.
that's exactly right. So Kawaja and Carey, were looking quite solid, actually. They put on the biggest partnership of the innings, I think, of 38
Yeah,
over a period of about 10 overs. And then Atkinson got his first wicket when he had Khawaja caught behind on a really nice delivery. Again, it was just a nick through to the keeper, but it came back that little bit off the wicket, which was clearly giving the bowlers something if they put the ball in the right place.
it's it's an interesting one. It that sort of period of the first innings felt quite sort of quite English in its kind of
Yeah,
style and what the pitch was doing and what the conditions were contributing because it was about what was it, sort of 18, 19 degrees, something like that. And then that
not even that.
and that
Yeah,
is kind of yes, and that's sort of fairly kind of British summertime and so I don't know. I think there's an element of they were sort of the bowlers were doing what they knew and it was working. So yeah, I mean it's a
yeah,
very different thing to kind of Perth or Adelaide,
yeah.
particularly. You know.
I mean, I think if I had one criticism, it would be that the fact that England didn't put enough balls in the right area. Uh,
Oh yeah, definitely. I
Again,
think yeah, they really have been relying on Australia to get themselves out, and I think that it's a although I think that this series as a whole, England have been pretty dire. I don't think that really Australia have been like Australia haven't been really good. They've just been better than England, who have
yes, yeah,
just sort of fallen apart.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, and Australia are basically just a load of kind
yeah,
of maturer players who have played together before, and
yeah,
it shows.
yeah. Well, Khawaja was out for 29 from 52 deliveries, and he'd looked quite good up until then. And then Carey followed very shortly afterwards for a beautifully constructed trap for Stokes,
Yeah,
caught in the leg gully, just down the leg sides, clipped it very nicely straight into the hands of the leg gully. It's been set there just for that because Carey had also been
so
looking pretty
good.
good for his 20 up to then.
Yeah, that was just smart bowling and smart captaincy, and you know, and Kerry's been amazing this series. You know, his keeping's been really great, and he's been decent with the bat, and that was just, I think that really was just someone sort of really thinking about what they were doing with their placement and all of that, and it just came off, and you know, sometimes you get those, don't you? You know.
Yep, absolutely. Cameron Green actually looked okay for his 17 until he ran himself out, which wasn't the smartest thing. But this time, an Englishman hit the stumps. I think that's the first time this
Which
series.
is yeah, I think it actually really changed the feeling in the field.
Yep.
Although I was on comms at the time and I said, "Oh, maybe this is going to be a Gary Pratt moment." It didn't end up being quite that, because I
Well,
don't think anything ever will.
no, that's
But
true, but it did have an impact because up until
it did,
then, Green and Nisa had put on 52 for the eighth wicket. So from
yeah,
91 for six, they'd taken it to 147 for six, 143 for six. So Australia was starting to look sort of semi good.
yeah. They were sort of, you know, calming down, take it sort of. They'd slowed the pace of the game down a little bit and just sort of, yeah, dug the heels in a bit and consolidated, and it threw everything back up in the air, which is I think I don't know, this England team seemed to have this weird thing where they only seem to operate in chaos, whether that
Yeah,
be
yeah,
positive chaos or negative chaos sort of changes, but it's always chaos.
yep.
Yeah, I don't know.
So then we
It
saw
was a good
Bang
run out
Bang.
though.
Yeah, it was a great run out from Cars. Was it Cars? I can't
Yeah.
remember. Yep.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
And then we saw the England, the Australian innings collapse, went from 643 to 152 all out. Stark caught in the outfield from Cars. Uh, Nisa, who batted well for his 35, was actually the top score. Was bowled beautifully by Tongue with one that came back in.
That
So
was a nice
maybe the
ball.
wicket played a part in that one. And then Boland out first ball uh, caught by Brook from Tongue. So as it happens, Tongue is on a hat trick when he bowls next. But
Oh, I can't
152
imagine.
all out. How were you feeling when Australia were 152 all out?
I well, I was thinking I should be feeling better about this than I am. Why am I not feeling better about this? And I
But
think that sort of tells you everything that you need to know. Uh, I I mean, I knew that it was good and it looked good and all of that sort of thing. But I don't know. This England team are making me think that you possibly
yeah,
should look a gift horse in the mouse,
yep.
you know?
Well, let's go to where they were. So England all out for 110. All right. Only two wickets to
Yeah.
Stark, but there was both the openers. The first one was Duckett. And I'll tell us how he got out. It's just,
Uh, well, pretty much the
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
This is possibly going to re-traumatize you, but it's what we
yeah,
have to do.
so the thing is, if what happened later wasn't coming up, I would say that it's probably one of the worst shots that I've seen. But because of, foreshadowing,
Yeah,
things happen later in the tale, and that is the worst thing I've ever seen. So, just basically, uh, Duckett went for a shot that wasn't there at all. He keeps trying to play outside. It just isn't working. The bloke's head has gone.
yeah.
Uh, I think
He
he
got a
probably
leading
wants to.
edge to mid off, didn't he? A simple
Yeah.
dolly. Yeah, it's and England were 7 for 1.
Uh, I, was it even that much?
Yes,
I didn't
seven for
even.
one,
I thought it was
and
less than seven.
it brought to the wicket the man possibly least qualified to be selected at number 3 that I can recall for England in Jacob Bethel.
I feel so sorry for Jacob
Yeah,
Bethel.
he's been set up. It's almost
Like there is
inevitable.
no way that he can succeed. Um, he's 21. He's played next to no red ball cricket because the England setup have sort of marked him as the next great thing because they want him to be the next Gower or something, I think, probably. Um, but that's a huge amount of pressure to put on someone. Also, because they've taken him out the setup because apparently he'll do better in their setup than he will in Warwickshire, which in itself is stupid because he's grown up there, he knows all the people, blah blah blah. That has meant that he hasn't played any cricket and he's just been running drinks and sitting in hotel rooms. And then he's parachuted into the Boxing Day test at the MCG. It's just not fair.
Yep.
So really, yes. Okay. Am I surprised that he got 1 off 4? No,
Yeah.
not at all. But do I blame him? Kind of also no,
Yeah, I get
because
it. I get it.
like, do you know what I mean? Like, I have, I've seen him play a fair bit of cricket, and the kid knows how to bat. Like
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. Just, 94,500 people, all of whom want you to fail.
yep,
And it's probably the first time he's been away from home at Christmas and all of that sort of extra stuff that no one thinks about,
yep.
you know?
So Nisa just got one to cut very slightly away, got a fine edge straight through to Carey. That was the end. Poor bugger. But it was going to get worse because that was 7 for 2, right? Sorry, 8 for 2. Next over, Zach Crawley. Um,
Oh, God.
I'll do this because you're in disarray. Uh, so
Yeah, I'm gone.
what we'll see from Stark, nice edge, straight to Smith at slip, 8 for 3. So that brings Harry Book to the crease. Okay, we are
Right.
the middle of the fifth over. England are 8 for 3. I want you to describe, if you can, Harry Brook's first delivery, what he did.
So, okay, so for context, this is the angriest I think I've ever seen you, which is really, which takes some doing considering you're one of the most chilled out blokes I've ever met, right? It takes a lot to get you even mildly miffed. So he, so this is again, first ball of your
Stark
innings.
at 146 k's an hour, all right?
Yeah, right. But Boxing Day test, day one, three down, 3 for 8.
Yes.
So, right, anyone sane, I am not a good cricketer. I like particularly batting, can't do it. I know that the thing that you do with that is you get everything that you possess behind it. You go and grab your other spare bats and you put them behind it. Not Harry Brook. He sort of just takes a step and he like
Takes
goes for a
three
massive.
steps. 3 steps.
Yeah, I'm being too nice to him, and he takes the biggest hoik I think I've ever seen. Like the last time I saw a hoik like that, um, I was 11. I was playing cricket at primary school, and a kid ran down the wicket and literally just chucked his bat down the. But that's fine because he was 11. It was in a playground, not
Yeah,
in the MCG.
yeah, yeah. I was just appalled, absolutely appalled. I think Anthony Condon, who's been with us on air on White Line Wireless and on Guerilla sometimes, put it best. He sent a message that said that opening shot by Brook was an insult to Test cricket. England deserved to lose this Test just for that shot. What the fuck was he thinking? And that's exactly how I felt. It was the most muddle-headed, stupid, arrogant shot that I've ever seen in a situation like that. One thing if you're 9 wickets down, just hitting out to try and get any
Yeah,
runs you can. But when you're 8 for 3 in the middle of the fifth over, uh, just madness.
and
And to me,
and
the
you're
person
supposed.
most to blame for that isn't actually Harry Brook, it's Brendan McCullum because he's
Yeah, I
given the
agree.
license to thrill that he thinks, and that's what he thinks it is. I'm just going to go mad, do my thing. You don't need that. What you
It,
need is what Stokes tried to do, which was to play a responsible innings. I was so angry. It was unbelievable. Yes. So
it's
you're
also
I don't
it's
get.
also definitely Brendan McCullum as well because if you look at who nominatively his batting coach is, it's Marcus Trescothick, who's one of the steadiest bats England's ever had. Like he doesn't do that.
Mm,
and he would have gone absolutely mental. So like that's not come from him. That is so clearly a McCullum kind of directive. But it's really weird as well because it puts such huge pressure on Harry Brook as a bloke as well. Because I mean, there's already so much pressure, kind of, because they're saying that he's going to be the next sort of great bat coming out of England, or like possibly ever. And they're already saying, oh, he's going to be better than Joe Root, and Joe Root is already a generational talent and all of that sort of thing. Like, and the press play into it, but also this setup play into it, and the fact that they're sending out just random blokes from the setup to the pressers is
mm,
making it worse.
mm, mm.
You know, it just, I don't know.
Anyhow,
It,
the truth is that Brooks survived that delivery and he scored 41. And there were a couple of sixes in there. One of them was a very good shot at a bad ball. Another one was a high risk shot, which made me angry. But he did get 41. He was the top scorer in the innings. But frankly, I would drop him for playing that shot. He was eventually out LBW to Boland on a good ball from Boland that nipped back just a little bit. And he didn't even review it. It was so plumb. In the meantime, however, Joe Root, he was the score was now on 16 in the eighth over. Joe Root, 16 for three at the time. Ah, dear, just got a little
I
edge.
don't know.
Through to Carey from Nisa. Nisa bowled beautifully, and he was going for a duck off 15 deliveries. So England were then 16 for four. Anything was going to be
I
good
don't.
after that.
Yeah, yeah. At that point, that we got to parity within the kind of where the wickets fell. We also got to 51 for four from that point is actually incredibly impressive
Yeah,
because it was such a mess. I,
yeah,
I think really that sums up today's day of cricket.
yeah.
It was a mess.
Yep. I think that's fair to say. Well, as I said, Harry Brook was the next man out for 41 when the score was 66. So that he and and Ben Stokes had put on 50 for the fifth wicket, which was in the context of an innings of 110 was very useful.
Yeah.
Uh, Jamie Smith didn't last long. He was up for two, bowled by Boland, by a very nice delivery. Nips back a bit off the seam, and it was just too good for him. But I think again, Smith just needs to work on technical issues. He's not got it all right, has he?
I the whole Smith thing, I don't actually understand it because Folks is a better keeper and did better in the McCullum setup than Jamie Smith has.
Yep,
And Jamie Smith is second in the Surrey hierarchy anyway. It just seems really weird, but also it seems to be a very McCullum thing to just pluck random people out of their county setup. I mean, the whole thing with Bashir is insane.
yep,
Um, you know, like he's had his complete like his Somerset career completely screwed over um
yep.
by this setup.
Mind you, given the way the wickets is playing today, not having a spinner at the MCG is not going to be an issue.
Oh no, I don't like
Yeah,
I get it. It's
yeah,
fine, but I think the fact that he's sort of scrabbling around and has managed to grab himself a contract at Derby is,
yeah,
you know, quite incredible, really.
yeah. Will Jacks was the next to go, caught by Carey from Boland. Just climbed a bit outside the off stump, nips back. Uh, and again, another wicket for Boland, who ended up with three altogether.
Okay,
And after,
serious question here,
yes,
Messi. What is Will Jacks? Is he a bowler? Is he a bat? What is he?
Neither.
Because
He's a
he's
fill-in, and I feel very sorry for him too. He's been misused. He's
yeah,
n- he's not good at. You wouldn't pick him as a bowler. You wouldn't pick him as a batter. Frankly, you wouldn't pick him as an all-rounder. Uh, I don't know what he's doing in the team, but then I can
he's
say
a
that about a whole lot
he's
of
a
the English team.
utility squad white ball player.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
And like fair play to him, he'll make a lot of money in his career doing the
Yep.
franchises and like all power to him. But come on,
Yeah. I need
batting
to move a
England,
little because we're
batting.
running out of time
Yep.
with Zoom. Ben Stokes, actually, I thought played pretty responsible, made 16 from 38 deliveries before he was caught by Smith at second slip off Nisa, edged away. Frankly, it wasn't a great shot. I don't know that the wicket had much to do with that. It was just not playing the line, I suspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, Braden Cass was the ninth out. He just got four before he got a top edge when he was trying to swing it over the leg side, and it went to Boland to catch that. Very much a tail enders dismissal. And
Yeah. And
finally,
that's
Gus
fine.
Atkinson was out for 28. He'd done some good hitting. He just got bowled by Green. He'd been trying to shelter Tongue from the strike, and eventually Green just bowled a straight one and got him. So they were all up for 110. Uh, Stark 2 wickets, Nisa 4, Boland 3, and Green 1. Joe Richardson bowled for the first time in 4 years, bowled 4 overs for 8 runs, tidily but not threateningly. And
Yeah.
Australia just had 1 over to face. They sent in Boland as a night watchman, nothing to lose there. He nicked one through to the boundary for 4, so they ended up at 4 for no wicket. So at the end of the day, we've got Australia with a lead of 46 runs uh, and 4 days left. Uh, it's, as I said earlier, it's actually the reverse of what happened in Perth to a large extent.
Yeah.
So on the basis of that, do you see hope for England?
Uh,
You frowned.
no, no, I don't know because look at everything around you, Messi. That's like
Okay.
that's
I
it.
get it. I get
No,
it. So I
you
I
know,
I was just trying to give you something to grab hold of, but I
no,
figured it was a very,
no.
very thin straw. Okay, your
Yeah, I
moment of the
mean,
day then. What was that?
moment of the day, uh, probably um, Tongue getting his two, leaving him on a hat trick. Although I feel
Yes.
very sorry for him.
Yeah.
Sleeping on a hat trick ball must be quite scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he'll probably get the first over tomorrow morning, actually, if Stokes has got any
Yeah,
charity in him. Uh,
yeah,
and that will be to Travis Head, who's, he's been out
yeah,
first ball before. So you never know. He
yeah. He
doesn't have
definitely has.
have a terrific record on the first day of Boxing Day tests. I'm not sure of the second. And your gorilla of the day, anybody catch your attention today?
Uh, I thought, to be honest with you, I think it's been a very strong showing from the Aussie contingent. Because you're all coming out the woodwork
Well, we're
top bloke.
awake. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Good to see
daylight
Russell
for
back
you.
today too. Yes.
Yeah, that's that. It was basically it was nice to see Russ back. And Mog's always great. I love that all his new jingles are going slower than sort of a tectonic plate moving. Um, that's always fun. Uh, yeah, Bear's an absolute champion for staying up till Christ knows when.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically, like the Boxing Day test down under is just a team effort. There's no
Yeah.
real standouts.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just
Well,
a good squad.
it's been a crazy day again.
It's been
We
mad.
haven't had all crazy days in this series, but Perth and Melbourne so far have provided a lot of action. So we're back tomorrow, first thing. And if you want to support Guerilla, go to patreon.com/Guerilla Cricket, and there's plenty of options there to support us on a monthly basis, from small amounts to huge amounts if you'd like to give us some money. We just thank you for your support, and for all our the people who post comments here or in YouTube, or who send us super chats. It all helps keep this operation going. Even though nobody gets paid, it still costs a fair bit of money to run it. So thank you all for that. Thank you very much for joining us for your debut, Will. I think you
Thank you very
qualified
much.
as a result of that. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, see ya.
There's the bear in there, and Hendo as well. There are jingles they play, and swear words to yell.